Gibbs, driver of the 13 Mitigator Ford Fusion. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.tv.
Driver of the number 5 Kiker Motorsports Camry. Welcome to Let's Talk Racing TV.
With Rockingham Speedway. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Tony Peter, driver of the number 17 Toyota in the NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing. Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
I never heard you call, brother.
All right.
That's all right. He probably dialed the wrong number.
Somebody heard a lot of ringing in anyway. I'd like to welcome everybody to Let's Talk Racing tonight. We already have our first guest on the line, Mike Smith. Mike, probably some people out there haven't heard about you. Why don't you give yourself a quick bio out there so they know something about you?
Well, for this week, I guess the most important thing is I'm Director of Public Relations at Martinsville Speedway.
Okay.
Job I've had for almost a dozen years here now, and been around the racing business since about 1977, either the newspaper side or public relations side. Love weekly racing. That's sort of our passion out here with the Virginia's for Racing Lovers 300. But the Cup stuff pays the bills, so we love that too.
You just got done having a huge late model race, and of course you do the 2 Sprint Cups and bring in the trucks twice a year. And the way I understand it, that's going to be the mainstay. They're going to still visit y'all twice a year, right?
Oh yeah. We of course that rumor is always out there that we may lose an event, but it's with some things that happened last year. With some help from the state, the Tobacco Commission, and from International Speedway Corporation, our parent company, we're guaranteed there for a long time to come. And we've always done the things that we needed to do to be there. We have great racing with great prices. Our facility is awesome. All it was ever were rumors. They were all baseless, but we decided a year or so ago, let's go ahead and really show these folks that it ain't going to happen.
I tell you what, I hope it would never get away, because you guys have got one of the nicest tracks to go out there and do some real racing.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about hardly any aero to speak of, so you got to be able to wheel it when you need it.
Exactly. It's I saw a great story today from Dave Newton, who writes for ESPN, just talking about guys are finally back to some great racing. Racing the way it should be in the chase, racing the way it should be all the time.
Now, is this the first year Martinsville's been involved in the chase?
I don't know. We've been in the chase since it
started. Yeah,
since it started.
Since its inception. Okay.
We had been until this year the 6th race in the chase. This year with the 7th race in the chase, which adds a little more excitement to it. You're a week closer to the championship, and the way the chase has gone this year, the way racing has gone with some pretty good Cup racing going on. The points race, there are 5 or 6 guys that are legitimately still in it. Carl Edwards is leading, but the interesting thing about Carl, Martinsville is about his worst track. He's only led a total of 14 laps here in his career total. he only has maybe one top 5 finish in his career here. So, and actually, I talked to one of his PR folks today, and that they've looked to Martinsville as a track all along as the one that they really had to do something to just to stay in the chase. So, we could really get topsy-turvy in this thing this weekend, with him not having great success here.
Yeah, and you got like Kevin Harvick and Tony Stewart who won. They run respectfully there. I don't.
Harvick won in the spring, I believe.
Yeah, I believe Harvick won in the spring, and he won in the truck too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Harvick won in the spring. That was his first win here in the Cup, but he's won a couple truck races here. He won the Nationwide Series race we had here in 2006. It's his home track. He only lives about 32 miles away from the racetrack. Tony Stewart loves this place. It's the type of track that he cut his teeth on. It's good old brass knuckles short track racing, and that's what he loves. So we just think it's going to be an amazingly good weekend. We've got great weather lined. I said lined up, not that we lined. The weather looks great for this weekend. We've got great tickets. We've got great ticket prices. And we're guaranteed to have great racing here.
Well, that's a given. When you go to Martinsville,
yes,
you guys, and I'm sitting here thinking about it, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're one of the last original tracks.
Hasn't changed anything.
That is still running a half mile. Yeah, Richmond was an original, but Martinsville's the last track, and you guys haven't changed the configuration.
We're the only one that's still there from 1949, the first season that ran what is Sprint Cup Series. They're the only one left.
The only one left. Yeah, Richmond's changed, but there is nobody else.
Yeah. I was curious, you mentioned the Nationwide Series. Why don't they run there? I've never actually heard, just as a fan.
The Truck Series has always done very well for us here. The Nationwide has run here before. We brought it back just for a trial run, and to help NASCAR fill a spot on the schedule in the summer of 2006. We took a huge bath on that race.
Okay.
There were a lot of varying factors involved. Where with the TV schedule, we had to drop it back to an afternoon race. It was 95, 96 degrees when we started the race.
Ooh.
But it for whatever the reason, the Truck Series has always worked better for us as far as the level of competition, the crowd we draw. So one of those, why fix it if it ain't broken things.
All right. I've always wondered that, and I've heard a few people ask that too. So I didn't know.
Mike, I'm not downing it because it's in a great area.
Yeah.
But the reason, and it's probably the truth, you guys are really in the middle of nowhere. I mean, farmland and all that. I mean, you're in a great location. You really are. But you get a lot of rednecks up there, and they like the trucks probably better than they do the cars. What we get a lot of, or we don't get a lot of the Cup guys come down. We get guys that are either on their way up and want to prove themselves, or who've been on the top and are on the way back down again, and just great racing. We actually love where we are. It's one of the battles we fight all the time. People think we're in the middle of nowhere, but we've got two major markets, one on either side of us. Roanoke's 50 miles away. Greensboro is 41 miles to the airport from our place. We have 22,000 motel rooms within 90 miles of us. We actually set a lot closer to metropolitan areas than some of the other tracks. Atlanta's 40 miles away from Atlanta. Yeah.
Chicagoland is nowhere near Chicago.
It's in Joliet, yeah.
So we spend a lot of time and are really working hard to prove to people that we're in a good location. And I had a call with NASCAR this week. They wanted to know how we got so many media members out for something we did with Jimmy Johnson here in town this week. We had over 35 media outlets, and I said, it's real simple. We're between two big markets. We had everybody from Greensboro or everybody from Roanoke, and it's a great market to be in. We love it.
You're close to South Boston?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, there's
Going right through there.
we still are close to our roots with tracks like South Boston, with tracks like Bowman Gray Stadium. Caraway Speedway is not far away. Motor Mile Speedway over in the River Valley. You know, so we still draw grassroots fans from the great weekly racing tracks, and one of the things, we've never strayed far from our roots. We have, you know, we race. That's what we do best. We race and we serve good old fashioned hot dogs. That's what we do best.
Well, I got a little list here that I wanted to go over with you, and one of them is the famous red Martinsville hot dogs. And you got, that's been since almost the inception of Martinsville Speedway. Those red hot dogs have been there, haven't they?
Well, I've been at every race at Martinsville Speedway since fall of 1977, and they were an institution when I got there. So around a long time.
And I will say this to anybody watching this that is going to Martinsville for the first time: you have to try the red hot dogs, the chili dogs. They are the best.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's the way they're made. Well, we've got sort of a secret recipe and a way of making them, and they don't look very special, but boy, they taste special.
Oh, and they are excellent. What else is coming to Martinsville? I mean, you guys do the late models every year, and we do the 2 cups and the 2 trucks. You got anything else big planned at Martinsville Speedway?
You know, there are other things we do. We do a huge 4th of July celebration every year. It's we partner with local industry to put on a big free event for our community. We draw between 30 and 40,000 people for it. We've had Montgomery Gentry, Charlie Daniels, Phil Vassar. I mean, we bring in a pretty top name group every year. We've set up a huge carnival with 18 to 20 rides. We have an incredible fireworks display, and it's all free.
Nice.
We promote it as we would a race, and you know, we're out here in the area where we've had double-digit unemployment for a decade, and this event is something that everybody looks forward to. It's something that you know, a lot of our folks here don't get a vacation every year because of the economy, but this is what we do, and with the help of some folks, is the closest thing they'll get to vacation.
Cool.
That's really the big stuff we do. But we don't have a 14-person staff, so it takes us every minute of every day of every week to do what we do and do it well.
And you guys do it very well. I had the pleasure of being at your facility last year, and it's a great facility, and it's fun to go to. Now I'm gonna kind of put a bug in your ear here, and I'm gonna say modifieds. You think we can get some modifieds back down there at Martinsville?
If we can get some modified fans, you know, it boils down to something that simple. We brought the modifieds back 5 or 6 years ago. We spent a lot of money renting lights and bringing them in, and we ran them under the lights 2 years. We tried every way we could, and you would get sick to your stomach if you knew how much money we lost on every one of those events. It's you know, we keep hearing people talking like they sound like you're pretty excited over modifieds, but whatever the reason, you know, we can't get more than 4,000 or 5,000 people out for them. You know, we tried to tap into the Bowman Gray, you know, all the success they have there. And what we found out are their fans are Bowman Gray fans. They're not necessarily modified fans. They come out to go to Bowman Gray Stadium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I have this conversation very often with people. You know, bringing modifieds back. I tell them that you know we've tried, and I'll go, when was the last time you were there? Did you come to the last one? No, it was back in the '80s. Really love them. So you know, this is a business, and you know, when you've got a purse of a couple $100,000 and everything else that's going on, you know, we got to be able to put people in the grandstands.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to talk to you a little bit, and this is the next thing I wanted to bring up, and the IRL. I know you guys are probably too small for that, but with this accident and these speeds and all that, how would you feel like if IRL came up to you and said, listen, we'd like to try a real short track there. Would that be something that Martinsville Speedway would say, this might not be a bad idea?
A lot of our tracks within our company, with International Speedway Corp, have run IRL races over the years. But, it sort of goes back to what I just said about the modifieds. You've got to be able to make money with them. You've got to be able to draw. I think if you last couple of IRL races at Richmond, at RIR, it just was not very good. Their TV ratings are, our truck series races draw double the figures that the IRL draws now. So, it would be a very difficult thing to do to begin with, because we are such a short track. I just don't think it would be a very good fit at all for those cars. And again, the IRL is facing some real challenges right now, even before the recent tragedy. They were fighting to get back on firm footing where, they get to the point where they can afford to exist. And unfortunately, I'm afraid they're looking at a much bleaker picture right now.
Yeah, it really doesn't look good for them. But as a promoter and a PR and kind of an all-around guy down there at Martinsville, what's your take on the Dan Weldon deal? I mean, you guys have had your share of tragedy, but nobody's really, jumped up and really complained, not complained about it, but what's your guys' take on it? Do you think they need to slow down? I mean...
you shouldn't be running 225 miles an hour in an 1,800-pound race car that won't stay on the ground. I mean, that's what it boils down to. You can have... and I preface all that by saying that driving a race car is inherently dangerous. There are always, I don't care how safe we make it, there are always going to be injuries. There are probably always going to be deaths. But, we need to strive to make it as safe as we can. And open cockpit cars at that speed, as light as they are, it's just way dangerous. And hopefully with the new chassis they're coming out with and some things built into that, I hope they can figure a way to keep them on the racetrack. I think it's just the bottom line with them. Because nothing failed as far as I was concerned with the racetrack in Las Vegas. I mean, the track did everything it was supposed to do. But when you don't have roofs on cars, and you go hit roof or top first into a catch fence, there are going to be problems.
Yeah, I think everybody did what they were supposed. Everything that was in place did what it was supposed to do. Yeah, nobody just saw this happening. I mean, he went in, like you just said, he went in head first into the catch.
Never seen it before, so nobody ever thought about it or really
does that play in?
Just hit the wrong angles, basically. We came down to.
Yeah.
Is that something that you all look at too? When you see an incident like that, do you all look at it and say, well, maybe we can improve too, so this doesn't happen to our guys?
Well, I think that happened 10 years ago when we lost our biggest star. I think a lot of things started happening then, and we do things that whether you like restrictor plates or not. At Talladega and Daytona, the reason we have them, is just to keep race cars out of the stands, to keep them out of the catch fences. We've seen a couple of wrecks the last two races at Charlotte and then at Talladega, where we had Jimmy Johnson and Reagan Smith hitting the walls, and there could have been some injury there if not for the new safer barrier systems that we have in place now. Oh, yeah. I think we have done a lot in our sport. I think it's we're constantly looking at things to do and improving, but we've certainly come a long ways in a decade.
Cool. Got a quick question for you, Mike.
Okay.
Now, you just recently had all the late models out there. Now, and we were talking about attendance. How did they compare against the truck guys?
They don't draw as well as the truck series, and there are a couple things. The key to the late model guys are their fans are coming from each track. They're coming to see the guys who run South Boston, the guys who run at Caraway or wherever. It's not so much they're not coming out to see a late model stock race. They're coming out to see their guy from South Boston run at a really big race in Martinsville. We've been fortunate. We've been able to keep that ticket price at $20 for that race, and been able to keep the crowd and the car count up to a point where we can afford to do it.
And that's probably one of the most exciting races that you all have. I mean, it's and everybody looks forward to it.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's a big deal for the late model guys.
Bragging rights.
It's a huge deal for them and for their fans.
I will say that was my first time at Martinsville, and I will be going back next year for that race. That was a blast.
And what you saw was not that unusual as far as the action. I mean, it was exciting, and that was a pretty typical crowd for that race we had also.
I think the one main reason that everybody wants to run Martinsville is that they want a shot at that infamous clock. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, back in the early '60s, some of the Cup drivers came to the track owner, H. Clay Earls, and said, you need to come up with something different. All of us got too many trophies. We don't know what to do with them. So, we had a company down the street that manufactured grandfather clocks and other things too. It was a furniture company, but it was mainly grandfather clocks. The name of the company was Ridgeway Clocks. So he started giving grandfather clocks away. Fred Lorenzen won the first one, I think, in 1964. You wouldn't think kids today, young guys, would be concerned about winning a grandfather clock, but boy, but it's still a big.
It's a huge thing. It's like you said, it's different. So
I actually need to get up with you about somebody that thinks they're owed a grandfather clock, but I'll have to do that off the air.
Hey, we'll do that.
Who's got the most clocks?
Richard Petty with 15.
With 15. Okay, I was thinking it might have been Richie Evans.
No. Because he won somewhere. Richie won some of the Saturday races, the 150 lap races, where we didn't give the clocks for.
Oh, okay.
Phil Warren's got. You know who Phil Warren is, don't you?
Oh yeah. Phil only has one because one of his wins here was in a race that we didn't give the clock. It was in a Saturday race.
Oh, okay.
So Phil came out. Phil was the first driver to come out of a heat race to win the big late model race.
Right. And he's got 2 wins down there, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got one in a 150 lapper, or maybe 100 lapper, and then one in the big one.
One in the big one. Yep.
Yeah.
So, but Richard Petty's got 15. Darrell Waltrip's got a few too, I think.
12, I think.
Who's that?
Darrell Waltrip.
Darrell's got 11, and we gave him one on TV one night just to make sure he had an even dozen.
So, you've been there since in the 70s, so you've seen a lot of history at that track. What's, in your personal aspect, what's your favorite moment at Martinsville Speedway?
Oh my! There's infamous Richie Evans, Jeff Bodine finish where they're up on the wall and upside down, and Jeff wins the race and Richie wins the national championship. That was big. We had a great Cup race there where Ricky Craven beat Dale Jarrett right at
I remember that one.
It's very similar to the one at Darlington they had. One of the best races I've ever seen. Jimmy Hensley and Curtis Markham going door to door in a late model race for about 30 laps. And for me, just because Jimmy Hensley and I were good friends for so many years, the day he won the pole in Dale Earnhardt's car for a Cup race when Earnhardt got held up by Hurricane Hugo and couldn't get to the racetrack. For me, that's probably the biggest thing.
Nice. Those are definitely good ones.
What are we going to expect this weekend? We've had you on here about 30 minutes. We got another caller coming in here in a minute.
Lots of mayhem.
What's the thing that everybody's, and I will promote Martinsville Speedway no matter what, because it's a great facility. Mm-hmm. Everybody I've said, and I'll be up there this weekend, I said I'm going to Martinsville, and they're like, you ever been? I was like, yeah, you'll see a great race, but what do you expect? What are we going to get when we get to Martinsville?
Points.
Yeah, you're going to see a great Kroger 200 Truck Series race. I mean, that championship's really close. This is a 200 lapper instead of 250 in the spring. I mean, these guys are duking it out. It may be close to being like the late model race. Sunday, I think you can see somebody like Denny Hamlin that's really out of the chase, or maybe somebody that's just is a really oddball choice win this race. I think it's going to be something totally different. I look for Carl Edwards to have trouble like he normally does. I look for the really strange things to happen in the points this weekend.
So you're looking for a whole shakeup, aren't you?
Yeah, I truly think so, and it's close enough amongst the top 5 or 6 to where it could really make a big difference. Get it out of here. I think Texas next week.
Bet you'll see a lot of the guys soft pedaling it just to make it to the end.
Making it to the end of the race is going to be a big deal. That's sure this week. And see, talking to Jimmy Johnson, one thing that Talladega and Martinsville have in common, you need to really qualify. Talladega qualified at the back, you're going to run. Martinsville qualified at the back, you can be a lap down and 50 laps if you don't care. So,
yeah.
We're really excited. I guess. When you look at what I said earlier, the perfect storm. We got great weather, we got good seats, and we're going to have awesome races.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind there's going to be an awesome race, and we're still tickets available, or are we sold out yet?
Oh no, we still have tickets available. We got tons of tickets for Saturday, 30 in advance, 35 at the gate. We've got tickets for the Cup race from ranging from $35 to $77. Got some, we got some of our great family 4-pack tickets left. 2 adults, 2 kids tickets. Each one gets a hot dog and a Pepsi product apiece. That's pretty tough to beat.
That is, especially in today's economy.
$59. Yep.
Yep. So, all right, Mike, we're going to see you this weekend.
All right, guys.
Thanks for being on, and hopefully we'll get you on here soon.
Yes.
All right, man. Take care.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. It's going to be a great weekend. It really is. And there's only 3 left. Phoenix, Martinsville, Phoenix.
Texas. This is the 6th race. There's 4 races after
Texas.
Martinsville, Texas is the other one. Phoenix, and then Homestead.
It's going to be Texas after Martinsville, then Phoenix, and Homestead. So
yeah.
I know Phoenix is before Homestead, so I'm looking forward to that one.
And Phoenix
is the reconfigured.
Is it the reconfigured, or are they going to reconfigure it
done.
after this
Already
weekend?
did it.
It's already done.
Already
Okay,
done.
I couldn't
They've already
remember.
tested there, and they're like 5 miles an hour faster or something like that.
I knew they were testing down there, and I knew they were testing the fuel injection down there.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Some of the guys also have been practicing a motor mile for this weekend too.
There's been quite a few cars. There was one there today. No, yesterday.
There's a couple of them today.
So, I get to do this? Oh, this ought to be interesting. Let's talk racing.
Matt.
Hey, Bret Hamilton.
Yeah.
How you doing, bud?
Not too bad.
Got Bret Hamilton. Bret, give us a little background on you, and then we'll get this show on the road.
Well, I do all kinds of metal fabrication here. Mostly I do modified dirt and asphalt. I do a little bit of drag car work. Not doing a whole lot of late model stock car work anymore because modified stuff keep me pretty well tied up. But that's the main thing.
How'd you, for all of you that on the show here that don't know, Bret Hamilton Enterprises builds one of the best modifieds there is, and I've known Bret for 100 years, and it's been the best modified I've ever known. How'd you get your start in racing? Let's talk about that a little bit.
I grew up around it. I'm from Iowa originally, and my dad raced from the time I was born up till I was about 13, 14 years old. And I've just always been around it. And I moved out to Virginia in '83, went to work for Emanuel's of AIK, worked there 4 years, worked a year on a Cup team in Charlotte, and then moved back here in '88, '89, and started working for myself.
Okay.
On cars.
And I can't count how many wins you got, how many championships. I know you won Mid-Atlantic Modifieds.
I've got 5 Touring Division Modified championships on asphalt. I've got 6 track championships on dirt. And I finished second in the nation in the AMRA Dirt Series 2 years ago. 7th last year, and this year I really didn't have any races close by to run. I didn't run, but maybe a few times this year with AMRA, but we kind of jumped around. We ran 17 or 18 races, but we ran 9 or 10 different tracks this summer.
And you're mostly running dirt now. I mean, I know that. But any asphalt? You still going to try to do some asphalt here and there?
I don't know. I thought about it, but if somebody buy my tires, I probably would put an asphalt car together again. I like the asphalt racing, but the dirt seems to be a little cheaper, and probably weekly for what they're paying. You can it pays a little better. A 25-lap race. You know, we got a race in North Carolina next first of the month, November, that pays $4,200 to win for a 30-lap race. So competition's going to be pretty stout down there, but
I'm sure.
Last year we brought out a brand new car, finished it the day before the race, and went down there and finished second. So I think we should be in pretty good shape this time.
And you're doing that again. You're building a brand new car as we speak.
Yeah, I'm here working on it tonight. I'll be burning the midnight oil till probably Friday morning, finish it up, and leave out of here and go down there and run it Friday night. The big race is on Saturday, so hopefully everything will work out. I'm probably a little bit ahead of schedule. Usually I'm scrambling till the last minute. Right, chassis won't be painted. I'm going with raw metal, but I'll be there one way or another.
One way or another. And a little backstory: the first race at VMS this year, Bret shows up. You had just finished it at 1 o'clock that afternoon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, usually that seems the way it. Customer stuff gets done first, mine gets done last. So I'm finishing it as I'm loading it to go to the first race. Usually.
Yeah, usually started 7th, finished 2nd that night, and probably should have won it.
That's awesome.
So
competition's pretty tough, and I've done it long enough. I can usually hit this setup pretty close the first time, and don't need a whole lot of practice. I've been around long enough. I've run most of these tracks, so I can usually get in the ballpark right off the bat.
Every track I go to, especially in Virginia, if you go to South Boston or you go to Southside or Langley or VMS, your cars are well over 50% of the field. Do you know how many you got out there?
No, I really don't know. I built a bunch of them, and they all seem to run pretty good. We had like 6, 7 different guys win with it at Langley this year. They've won every race but 2, I believe, at VMS. Brandy Breeden has won quite a few at Eastside and Waynesboro. Chris Johnson's won at South Boston, his modified.
He's won at Southside too, hasn't he, with the modified this year?
He's won Southside a couple times. Mike Rudy runs good. Sean Beluzzo, Mark Sly, Cameron Patrick, Anthony Kincaid. That was on the asphalt. Brian Maxey, Dan Arnold. Chris Arnold won his first race at Potomac here a couple weeks ago. So most of them are running pretty good. I've got 4 over in the Beckley, West Virginia area now. And talking to a couple guys over there about building some more new cars, and I know I've got 1 to build for a guy over that way. And they seem to be pretty hot right now anyway.
It's not just the new cars that you're building. You've got some old cars out there that are very highly competitive out there still, too, aren't you?
Yeah, Eddie Johnson drove one at Langley race, the 100-lap race a couple weeks ago that was 18 years old.
Whew.
And he was, he hadn't gotten a flat tire, I think he'd have been right up in there, top 5.
Easily, yeah. Thomas Stinson's had a couple of cars. That one old car he had one last year with it, and that was just about as old as Eddie Johnson's car, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that one was like 19 years old.
And he was always up front with it, too.
Yeah. So
that's a good accomplishment. That's got to make you feel pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. They all seem to hold their value pretty well, too. If somebody gets one and wants to resell one. I know a guy that, Dan Arnold won the championship at BMS with his dirt car, and he bought it from me 3 years ago. It was a car that I drove myself. He bought it, and he sold it a couple weeks ago for exactly the same as what he paid for it. So you can't do that too often.
No, you can't.
No.
You've always put the Ford, and I want to get into this a little bit because it's going to kind of lead into something else. You've always put Ford front clips on it. Anybody in a modified, you run a stock snout, either Chevelle, Chevy 2, or Ford, correct?
Right. Well, you can use anything as long as it's stock front clip. Some of them were using Camaros originally when we started running the modifieds around here in '92, and I didn't want to do that because they were getting hard to find at that time. And I had built a street stock on this Ford frame for another guy that ran at Southside, and it seemed to work out pretty good. It was wider, the tread width was wider, and you didn't have to get any real wild offset wheels. And I've just always stuck with that, and it seems to work pretty good. I know a couple guys in the Midwest that are building cars on this frame. They're pretty easy to find. A lot of the dirt car guys were using 68, 72 Chevelles. They were very hard to find, so now they're getting some stampings made, but the quality of those stampings is not real good. So I've just stuck with the Fords. I can find them easy. I usually get most of my stuff from Newport News, Pete's Auto Parts, and I could give them a call. In a couple of days, I've got 6 or 7. And go down and pick them up from them. So
nice.
They seem to work out pretty good. I'm not going to change. They're pretty strong. I very seldom have to put a front clip on one unless they really hit something hard.
Well, I think you got a modified coming your way from from this last race at Langley. So
yeah, Cameron Patrick.
Yep.
Yeah. Talked to him Monday, and he said, "Yeah, it's going to need a front clip."
Yeah. He hit pretty hard.
Yes, he did.
He did. There was what did we talk about? There was 11, 12 of your cars in that race.
I believe so. It was right at that.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
That tells you something.
Yeah, they hang around for a long time.
They certainly do.
Now, usually somebody buys one and sells their old one, and it is to run just as good as the newer one. So.
Exactly. And it's just you. You don't have a big crew at the shop or at the racetrack. Usually when you go, it's your wife, Tina.
Right.
And your father-in-law, correct?
Yeah, if we race close, he goes, but we've been going a lot of times. She gets off work half the day, every other Friday, so if she does that, we usually take off out of here at noon on Friday and go to West Virginia and run somewhere Friday night, usually Beckley, and then run somewhere Saturday night and then come back. My father-in-law, he's not too much on the overnight trips, so he races. He goes with us when we stay close to home, which is about half the time, I guess.
Yeah. And
at the shop, it's just me. I got a couple guys come around here some evenings and help me out if I need some help, and that's pretty much it.
Well, if you ever need front clips picked up down here, you just need to call me. I'll run them up to you.
All right. I'll put you to work when you get here.
Hey, that's no problem. You know that. So, Brett, we're going to let you get out of here because I know you want to get that car done, and
all right.
I'm going to try to meet you down at County Line that Saturday. I'm not going to come up for Friday, but I'll definitely come up for that Saturday.
All right. Well, we will be there one way or another.
All right, and we'll get you back on here in the fall. We'll get you down here.
Okay.
All right, man. You have a good night.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye. One of the nicest guys you ever met.
Sounds busy, too.
Got rid of him real quick. That was a short interview.
Well, it was because I knew what he, and
working
you
on
could
the
tell
car,
he was,
yeah.
It's like he said, he's going to be burning the midnight oil, and this is not the first time he's,
Won't be the last time.
and it won't be the last time. So,
Want to find out how he does, too.
yeah, I might go down to that one. County line's not that far. I think it's about 3.5 hours.
Was it Saturday or Friday night?
And
Saturday?
they run Friday, and then they run Saturday.
Okay.
So, but he travels all over, and is just one of the nicest guys, and probably one of the best modified builders I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So
He's definitely been around for a while. He's hanging out with some of the old time names. He's been used to seeing for so long.
He has been around a long time.
Greg Deep, Marty Strickland, and Charlie High.
Well, Marty does his motors. I know that.
Charlie High still doing motors?
Charlie's still doing them. I guess he's semi-retired. I think his son.
Because he's still got the shop out there on 17, just down around from Gravedigger.
Yeah, he's still got a shop down there, as far as I know. Matter of fact, I talked to him the last modified race. He was up, so he still comes up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bret's been around a long time. I seen him at Richmond International Raceway when they ran the modifieds there. What about that?
Oh, it's just too bad we beat your butt.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, we did.
Where'd you finish?
We finished third. Y'all finished fourth.
So?
We beat your butt.
If they wouldn't have been, the officials wouldn't have been blind.
Hey, don't feel bad because you remember we had Sparky pulled in for a black flag. It was on somebody else, remember?
Yeah, but he pulled straight through.
But he still lost a lap.
Yeah.
So what? We beat your fast time.
Yeah, just barely.
Still beat it.
If we'd fought carts, we'd probably beat you even worse.
Laser Motorsports beat all our best time.
They also had the
Mad Dogs even beat our best time. They ran a 20.009.
Yeah. What'd you do to the front of that? Yellow highlighter everywhere.
What's this one from?
Oh, the girl for the second series.
Oh, those were the.
She grabbed my sheet off
times
the
for
table
month.
and started marking stuff on there.
Oh, okay.
Because I was keeping track of the laps, so I knew how many laps were.
It was a good time. How much money did we find out we raised?
Over 2,000. I saw that. I
Yeah.
didn't see the exact number.
Because you had $3,000 just in driver's fees alone.
Yeah. And then you count the raffle too.
And add the raffle into it.
There are quite a few people that got in for that.
And just flat contributions too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they're not done yet because there was somebody that said they had to come back. They had a check that they didn't bring with them, so there's more coming.
You're up, man.
Who's this? Let's Talk Racing.
Yeah, this is Butch. I just got a PC from you.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Okay.
Now who's this?
Yeah, that one's for you.
Okay. Let's Talk Racing.
Joe.
Hello.
Who's that, Matt?
Yeah.
Alex.
Who?
This is Joe.
Joe, what's up, my buddy?
What you doing?
They're talking smack about us.
Talk about it. We blew everything up. What was left? What, we didn't burn the building to the ground? What, you disappointed our team?
Well, I don't know, man. They were in here talking. This Let's Talk Racing deal was. They were talking smack about pick your photos and Laser Motorsports and Mad Dogs here.
No, never.
So
In the race, we were on a personal mission of self-destruction.
And I think everybody did a good job of that, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
I'm just really happy that AIK gave us a bunch of free rides instead of billing us for the damage.
Did you get some free rides?
Yeah, they gave us a stack of things. I think I gave them all to your crew chief.
I did get one then.
Did you?
Yeah, I got one. He gave me one.
Give me that one back. We didn't like you.
Okay.
I think, oh no, we crashed you and you got blamed for it.
No, you didn't crash me.
I thought, didn't you get a stop or go penalty or something like that because I was...
No, not because of y'all.
Oh.
It was,
you're changing your story because you found out AJ was on my team.
Oh, no. It was the 18 cart. That's why we were trying. And we got the biggest round of applause. Our two teams, by the way.
Did they?
Yeah, when you and I were over there putting the sign out that says take the 18 out.
We just kept writing. We kept telling your guys to pit.
The announcer was cracking up because he was like, "You got to see what they're writing on you."
Oh, were you the one that did that?
They pull in.
It didn't work though, did it?
Oh, it did. I think the 13 car pulled in.
Oh, did it really?
It worked. All right, that was all I was out there running. And we tried it a few times to get wise to it. I guess they realized you have to recognize the person holding the sign up.
Well, that's the first thing that I looked at.
Yeah, because my team never even wrote the number of the car. I just knew who knew the sign and the guys. You're going by like 200 miles an hour. You're rolling by at like 15.
Well, we had it easy. I mean, we were using our Let's Talk Racing shirts, the flag.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys were all uniformed and stuff. We came out. I mean, it was like.
Well, AJ kept putting "you suck."
That's accurate.
Yeah, he did that to me a couple of times. So.
Me too. Don't worry about it. Start giving me he'd just start writing bogus lap times on it. He'd be like 19.2. It's like, dude, I ain't run under 21. Oh, I blew that lap.
Yeah, I know he was fun. AJ's. If anybody doesn't know who we're talking about, AJ Winstead.
AJ Winstead. Now, you know what? AJ's a big boy. And he's what is AJ? 6'5", 6'6", probably 250. And he didn't run bad. He ran like high 21s with the car. And realistically, Hunter and I were both like 180 pounds. And we ran like, same second, we ran like, I think I had the miraculous lap where somebody's beating me out of the way at 20 and a half. But the car would only go like 21 seconds. You guys are running like 19s. It's like not even in the same sport.
Oh no,
The carts.
we had a shitty cart too.
After the races were done, they went in and tuned up the carts for the next group.
Yeah,
I thought that really sucked.
We didn't really care what race we were in.
No. But yeah, they aired up the tires and they turned up the governor or something like that on ours. At least we saw them doing that in between races. So.
Well, no wonder you blew up motors. One of your guys, and I won't mention no names, we caught reaching back and trying to turn the carburetor up while he was racing it.
Yeah, and Luke kept warning him too to go around the backside. He's being doing this at him.
I mean, I'm not bitching about the car, but when you go in the corner and you hit it, and you hit the apex right, and you get the run off the corner, and you run a car length down on the guy coming off the corner, and he beats you to the end of the straightaway by 3 car lengths.
There's something wrong.
And now,
I had that a few times.
But actually, you know what? We had a really good pit strategy, and I think had we not blown up 2 carts and had to make 6 instead of 4, I think we would have wound up like maybe about 3rd in that race.
Yeah, if we wouldn't have gotten flagged twice, I think we would have been all right.
Who got dumped in the middle of the back straight?
I don't know who got dumped on the middle.
They got the big old nasty turnaround.
Oh, yeah, one of our guys did.
One. Yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah, see, I told you guys deserved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought it was Sparky that got you, but
What are those
Sparky got somebody else.
Man, I got a question for you. Laser Motorsports is kind of, that's you, isn't it?
Well, I wasn't on that team, but yeah.
My next question was, how did you get fired from your own team?
Well, to be quite honest with you, we combined 2 teams, and Bobby Gobble...
What debauchery did you do to get removed by your own minions?
Well, I did it last year, and I just said, you know what, let these guys run. Let's just put them all on a team. And if somebody doesn't, want to run or something, I'll jump in and just fill in for them.
Very good. Next year, we ought to get a bunch of guys in there. Everybody pick a number out of the hat. That's your team.
I like RD. We're going to make 2 teams next year, Joe.
Well, we had this great strategy that we worked out. I got to tell you, we said, you know what? Track position is very hard to pick up on the track. It's very easy to pick up in the pits if you pit well.
Yep.
So what we said was, we're going to pit now. I got Hunter Slayton on my team, who's like the Iron Man. You just put him in a cart, and he could have done the whole thing by himself.
Right.
So anyway, we're going to run 10 laps and get out of the car, put Hunter in it. Because Hunter and I confess, we went up to G-Force up here in Richmond and ran some laps, and he was quicker than me. A little bit. Not a lot, but enough. He's quicker, so you're the number one guy. You win. So anyway, AJ runs 10 laps, he gets out of the car. Stephanie runs 10 laps, she gets out of the car. Tommy runs 10 laps, he gets out of the car. I'm about to get in the car, and Hunter's like, dude, I can't run 200 laps. What do you want me to do? He said, run as many laps as you can. I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah, I was wondering because all of a sudden somebody was doing pit stops really early.
My back looks like I got shot with a beanbag gun.
Yeah.
Oh, the cart we had was one that crossed over from right to left. So everybody that was racing wound up with abrasions on their neck from the straps. And Terry actually wound up smacking a rib, too.
Is Terry there?
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, Joe.
Background, how you doing?
I got 2 broke ribs, man.
Styling. You were styling with the purple helmet there.
Yeah, it's cool, wasn't it?
With the purple car, too.
And I looking good. I don't know if there was a Best Appearance Award, but you had it going on.
Hey.
Oh, the black suit.
You got to look good because you're always fast if you do. In your own mind, anyway.
I think, Joe, we talked about a strategy, and I still think that would work.
What?
We're going to pit all the big guys on one team as blockers. And they're going to let the other team go by them. But anybody else, they're not going to let them go by.
I'm just going to bring W.
That just brings you another black flag.
We just swerve.
Started, I think, last 10, and he came, no, he didn't start last. He caught for 4th or 3rd or 4th. I don't know. But he was on the lead lap, and we were like, oh, man. We were thinking, oh, it's because his weight, he's heavy. And then we got in the car, and it got worse. It was like, oh, Jesus.
AJ did a really good job, though, as big as he is.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, come on, give the guy some credit. He's a hell of a race car driver.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, he is. He's a definite wheelman.
I mean, if the car's got speed, he's going to get it.
Yep. And one of the nicest guys. You wouldn't think he would be that nice.
Oh, he is. He's really. I get along with AJ really well. I mean, really don't have any issues. Tough competitor. He's passionate about it. But a lot of fun, and it was for a good cause. How much did we raise for?
At least $3,000. I think there's some more coming in still.
Oh, that's great.
How much?
At least $3,000 from what I think they posted on Facebook.
At least 2.
Well, at least 2. I'm sorry.
It's going to be close to 3 by the time it's done.
That's awesome. I mean, that's great. That's a good cause, and we went out. We all had fun.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was late. We had a long haul because we're all back in the Richmond area, so we had about a 2-hour ride.
Well, it's good you can make it out then.
Stick around for the fast guy race, the A main.
Yeah, how did that work out? Did you stick for the whole thing?
I heard that was a little intense.
Yeah, I heard that too. I didn't stay for the whole thing, but yeah, I heard it got a little intense.
I know they had a car go underneath the
Getting a
wall.
little crazy for that plastic trophy, from what I heard. Like, guys, chill out.
Oh yeah, they were.
They were getting
they done
serious.
got all kind of testimony with one another. And CE and them were kind of irritated. So
We're just having fun. Next year we'll do a paintball battle and see what happens.
There you go.
Well, they're talking about doing it on a Sunday next year.
Well, that would have been. It would have been better to have a little more time because I mean it got to the point where when our race was done it was like I guess like 10 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
And, we got to get back. I got a full-time job. I got to get up at 5 in the morning. So
Yeah.
I got in the house probably about 11:30. Not that I'm complaining. It's a good cause, but had I been in the A main,
It would have been a rough night for you.
complaining why I was late at work the next day.
Joe, we thought you were independently wealthy and didn't have to work.
Oh yeah, I'm just rolling in it. Rolling it. I got 3 faucets in the shower, hot, cold, and cash.
There you go.
That's right.
Lady Luck's gonna drop by and put an extra spigot in there, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, with no toilet paper, we use hundreds.
Okay, and now we're going to plug this before I forget again.
What?
You got a big deal coming up this weekend.
Yeah, Mad Racing Series. the modified affordable division. We're going out to Franklin County, and it looks like we're going to have about a dozen guys. We're going to a dozen teams come out and race. And the best part about it, I've been promoting the series and the affordability of the series is the 4 tires that I put on my car and tested 50 or so laps at Langley, and then I went and ran all the practice laps and the 35-lap feature at Orange County a couple of weeks back. I'm taking those same 4 tires, and I'm going to run all the practice, qualifying, and the race at Franklin County. And the tires will not be the deciding factor if I don't win.
Where's Franklin County at?
Franklin County's out by Roanoke.
Oh, so you're not that awful far away from
Callaway Speedway? Old Callaway Speedway used to be called, I think.
I'm going to have to look that up. That's over by Martinsville, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the promoter out there's got some really great ideas. This is where we had that modified race in the beginning of the year, where you went out there and you picked a number, and you gave you gave $160. You picked a number, and you got 4 used late model tires, and you put them on your car, and you were supposed to race.
Right.
And they had a bunch of, they had like a gaggle of like Troyer type modifieds that came out there to race, and it was like me and Tim Maxey with our IMCA cars, and all them guys just like packed up and left. They were like, "We're not racing against IMCA cars, and we're not buying tires." And they went home. I'm like, dude, what the, you know what? Well, and they all left. I still didn't understand what the whole deal was with that. But Whitey, the promoter out there, he's got television coverage. He's always got all kinds. I mean, the event is great. I mean, they come out and we started with a tug of war, which we won, by the way. Thank you. Then they're racing like, they got one-on-one drag races with like quads and dirt bikes and street cars and all kinds of stuff out there. It's just it is a he calls it the Buck Wild racing series. Buck Wild, but it's crazy. He's got the Buck Wild TV show. He's really doing some great things out there. We're trying to, and I think the modified affordable division is a very good fit for what he's trying to do.
You might get a little extra coverage. You might have some Cup guys, since it's that close, showing up out there.
Where? Oh, well, yeah, that's right. Martinsville's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll already be out there on Saturday for the truck race.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I mean, had I thought about that, I might have, pitched a couple, come out and run the car, and, maybe boost the series a little bit. But, next year, I'm in a position with that series where I kind of got the ball rolling, and now I'm like that guy on the inside of the giant ball rolling down the hill.
Yeah.
It's just kind of taking me over. I'm kind of running into a conflict of interest there. I guess I'm going to have to, once we get the car counts, I'm going to kind of pull back out as a racer and then be more of an administrative and run the series, because I want to see good, clean, fair racing, zero tolerance for rough riding, and I want to see everybody get a fair shot. I want to see some people in victory lane. I want to see some people lead some races that I ain't never seen what it looks like to have no cars in front of them. So we'll do some different things, maybe some heat races, maybe some inverted twins and things like that. And you got to face it. The division, it's a hobbyist division, really. It's got to be fun. If they're not having fun, they're not going to race.
That's the whole deal.
You got to get them out there, make it reasonably affordable to the working class guy, and make it fun.
Exactly. And the way it sounds like it's really going to be fun.
I might join.
I had a blast, county. Because I think the average driver age out there was like 45. It was 61 won it. First modified race ever. Robert Connor, he drove a fantastic. He passed me on the outside.
Ooh.
Not real happy about that, but I was happy for him. And then the used car that I used to own, about a lap later, went under me. I was like, son of a bitch, look at this. Some more.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
It was great. We had, first place was Robert Connor, who was like 61 years old. Tim Maxey was second. He's, I think, 53, 54. I was the young kid at 42 and third, and, I have Mike Hamberry, who's like in his late 30s right there. We're very respectful. No pushing, no shoving. Just good racing and hard racing. It was a lot of fun, and everybody went home with their car in one piece, except for Hunter Slayton, who blew the motor out of his car. He's kind of on a pattern with that. Blew up 2 carts the other night. Blew up his modified at Franklin County.
Is he going to Franklin?
And then Connor. No, he's done. He lost the motor. He's just like,
okay.
Yeah. He had. I don't know who his its races. So,
Ooh.
I was behind it when it came apart, and it wasn't one of those, oh, I think it's blown. It's like, oh, look, rods.
It was blown.
Rods and sparks and a piece of the oil pan. Oh yeah, no, major kaboom.
Detonation.
Kaboom.
He's talking to my guy, Jonathan McMullen Racing Engines, who's going to put a piece together for him and stuff, because Aftershock is moving up into the Southern Wheeling Series, and a lot of the parts and components that we've been using in like the RTM style modifieds and Langley modifieds, you can't use in those cars.
Right.
So we've got dark block rotating assembly, things like that. So he's going to hook Hunter up with some of the older stuff there at a good price, and make an affordable modified racing engine.
There you go.
And like I said, I'm still dying for somebody to take up the challenge of the pump gas thing and put an injection system or something on it. Unless GM's full of it, they're putting Corvettes out there on pump gas that are making 600 horsepower. That'll run with these cars. I don't know how to make it work in a modified.
Well, and I'm going to bring up this point. Daryl
Vance.
Daryl Vance has a GM crate motor with a 4-barrel, and he put 4 new tires on it, and damned if he didn't finish 5th.
He did, on pump gas. Now, if you gave that man a throttle body, he'd probably make another 50 horsepower.
Yeah. He was on pump gas.
Or an 18-degree head on that thing, they think it'd probably make another 1,500 horsepower.
Yeah. So, there's kind of...
$3.70 a gallon, he's going to fill his pickup, his race car, his generator, and go out there and have a shot at winning races. And
yeah.
Might look into that.
So,
really the direction that we need to go, because we're running leaded fuel. You can't buy leaded anything anymore. Come on,
Yeah.
I'm not a big environmentalist, but go green somewhere here,
No, I think everybody ought to run ethanol.
And I like that idea too. That's not a bad idea, but I'm ignorant of it, and I confess. And most of the guys in this division are ignorant of it.
Do you know what it pretty much is? E85 is ethanol.
Yeah.
It's 85% ethanol, and the other 15% is regular gas. Well,
and I really like the E85 stuff, and I've been reading, Circle Tracks did that with a super late and injected E85 super late, and the thing ran well. Well, where the hell do you buy E85? Like, I don't see it around anywhere. Am I not looking? What color is that handle?
Yeah, well, yeah, you're right.
E85. Well, where am I looking?
Yeah, where is it? But you know what ethanol basically is, don't you? It's grain alcohol.
Yeah.
Right, and think of the party you'll have after the race.
That's right. So, these guys that ran sprint cars and all that always ran alcohol, they're loving this because that's pretty much what it is.
Right. It's a renewable resource. It's a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
Smells cool.
Smells cool, and you're going to burn just a little bit more, but it's a whole lot cheaper than racing fuel.
Right, but with the affordable mods, it's counterproductive to run 75 and 100 lap races. I mean, the longer the races, the more you're going to spend, the less races you're going to get out of your tires. And everybody wants to go race. Everybody would love to run 500 lap races, but the price goes through the roof.
Well, even at Langley, they ran 75 laps and then took a break so some guys could put fuel in their car and then run the last 25 laps.
Right. Yeah, and it's cool to do that once in a while, and I think Langley's on the right idea. Do it once in a blue moon, but you can't do it on a regular basis. And my point is, if you're running twin 25s, you're running a 50-lap race. Ethanol would be a viable solution. You should.
Exactly.
Should have enough gas in it to make it go, or ethanol to make it go fuel.
I'll look around and see if I can find some E85 around here.
Yeah, I don't know. And isn't that what all these flex fuel cars are advertised to run?
Yeah, supposedly.
Right. Yeah. Where did it fill it?
Yeah. Where do you get it?
I think you can mix it.
When it's got a regular pump stuck in it, so the E85 it just hasn't spread.
Well, you still go back to the Midwest, Iowa, and Missouri, and that they still have ethyl, which is ethanol.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's what ethyl.
That's what ethyl is?
Yep.
And they're making it off of what, corn, right?
Yeah, and see, it's nothing big. It's been around. I remember it as a kid, pulling up to the tanks and seeing ethyl.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And, you know, my biggest fear always was is the clear fire. You know, the clear flames. But from what I understand, they put enough additives in it now that I mean you can see it burn. Well, I mean that horrific IndyCar crash we had out there, you know, a couple weeks ago.
Base of the shipyard.
That drivers in the bus, but you clearly see the fire, and then when they.
Well, and see, that's not all ethanol. That's actually alcohol.
Okay, educate me. What's the difference?
Ethanol is made out of corn. Alcohol and methanol are made in a different way, and I can't remember the process.
Made off of wood? Is that like wood alcohol as opposed to grain alcohol?
Yeah, that could be a good possibility.
There's a thing called Wikipedia.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up.
You could change that.
But I do know grain alcohol and methanol are totally different.
Hey Joe, isn't there a gas place down there in Hopewell area?
There's a plant, yeah. You know, I was just kind of thinking that there is a plant that's going into like green fuel, supposed to make E85, I guess. It's they're supposed to be corn-based fuel.
I think methanol is derived off of the gas.
I don't really know. That's I'm not even going to begin to.
Yeah, I'm not even. Yeah.
Guy a headache, okay?
Just so you know, up here,
I'm not a gas guy. Put the purple stuff in the tank, and I can tune the jets.
That's it. Yeah.
Even if you go with the injection system, no two sensors. Put it in the collector. It will adjust itself.
Apparently, the only place you can get it right now is on the military installations or the shipyard.
Right. Well, I know.
It is.
I know. Deployed in the military, we had that stuff they called MoGas.
Yeah.
Which was like 85 octane, and I don't know what exactly that was, but it smelled really bad, and it was hell on two-cycle outboard motors. We blew. I didn't. I was very nice to it because I didn't want to paperwork over blown up engines. But we coughed quite a few Evinrudes off of that.
Well, Joe, we're going to go ahead and let you get out of here.
I'm hungry. We're going to dinner.
You guys are going to get like the big meat lovers pizza, right?
No, we're going to go have Mexican tonight.
Oh, Mexican?
Oh, we're going down here?
Yeah, Cancun.
Okay.
It's too long a ride home for me to do Mexican with you guys.
You'll get over it.
You gonna come down next weekend? Next Wednesday?
I hope so. This is, Saturday is our last race, and then, we start pulling cars apart, and then we send the driver out for an overhaul as well. So I go for my overhaul, my annual repair schedule on Friday. So maybe I'll hobble my busted ass down there a week or two after, and join the show.
All right. Well, you never know. Let's hold Wednesday open if you can.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said try to hold Wednesday open if you can.
I'll try to. I got to get off the couch, guy. All that busted foot stuff they're still dealing with. I'm tired of limping around. We're going to try and fix it again. So.
Okay. I'll see you Friday. I'll call you Friday on my way up.
I hit something years ago and knocked my toe out.
Need to fix that toe, don't you?
Yeah, I got to go in for a toe adjustment. I got to make a quick pit stop.
There you go. All right. Well,
have a good night, then. We'll talk to you later.
Good luck this weekend, and we'll be talking to you Friday.
Good to talk to you guys. I'll see you again soon.
You got it.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Later.
All right. I'd like to thank everybody for watching Let's Talk Racing tonight, and we'll see you next time. See ya. Should get that up higher where it's supposed to go.
Hi, my name is Natalie Sather. I drive the 94 K&N Lady Eagle Safety Wear, Butler Built Seats, Bell Helmets, Hooker Harness Seatbelts, number 94 at South Boston Speedway. Be sure to listen to Let's Talk Racing TV.
I'm Sam Hunt, drive a 42 car. I want to thank Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Robert Richardson Jr., driver of the number 23 Dodge Challenger for R3 Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you're watching Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Tony Peter, driver of the number 17 Toyota NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Let's Talk Racing is brought to you by PC Doctors, Computer Sales and Services. This doctor still makes house calls. And also Hampton Incredible Tees and Signs, both located at 1248 North King Street in Hampton, Virginia.